Hey guys, thanks for joining the video. Today we're going to be looking at Litecoin. I'm going to be looking at Litecoin from a high time frame perspective. So I'm not really going to be looking at intraday charts. I'm going to be looking at basically at half day to daily time frames, just kind of taking a look to see what we could be getting set up with here. Also kind of getting a good idea for for where some targets might be for this. But of course, before I get started, this isn't financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm here just giving my opinion on the market. So you're responsible for your own trades, managing your own risk, doing your own research, and I should just be one point of reference for you. You should be looking, if you're looking for information from people, you should be looking at many people. If you have your own strategies, you should be using me as maybe an area of confluence for what your thoughts are on the market. All right, so let's take a look at the Litecoin chart. What we have, I've basically got a couple different things here that I'm looking at. I'm looking at this from the perspective that we may have just completed one gigantic 1-2, and we could be potentially creating a little bit of a cup here. And also, of course, this could be that we did an A and a B, and we're just going to be going up for a C here. I'm looking on a linear scale. I'm not looking on the log scale. The log scale is going to look just a little bit different than what we currently have in front of us here. Basically, if you're taking a look at this from a log scale, basically what it looks like just happened, it looks like we just got rejected out of the 618, and we are still continuing our move down. And we could be, seeing further prices to the downside, potentially down to the $11 mark. Now, I don't know if that's going to happen, you guys, but for right now, I'm going to be taking a look here at the linear scale. Now, on the linear scale, it looks like our retracement only went up about, I don't know, like 30% or something from the large move from $420 down to $22.25, where we bottomed out. Then what I did here is I took a fib pull from down here at 22.25 all the way up here to the top, which was at about 146. And then we did a retrace, basically exactly 88.7%. Now, this is the area that has to be defended. If we go below this 88.7, what I'm going to be forced to do, I am going to be forced to move into log scale, and I am going to be forced to take a look at that $11 mark for low in Litecoin, which would be very, very interesting. I would love to buy Litecoin at $11 if we get down there. But for right now, on linear scale, it does appear that this 88.7, which is at $36.23, has been defended. Right now, we're currently trading above the 786. We're just basically flirting with it right now, sitting there at about 48.73. Right now, the price is what is that? $49.24. Now, again, I'm looking at a 12-hour time frame. Let me just move out to a daily for a moment here, and just kind of take a look at the moving averages and see what they're telling me. So we're just getting rejection off the Cyan 100 exponential moving average. We're just getting rejection off of that right now. I would say it's very likely we do come back down here to about $46.25 before we see a bounce. So 46.25 is basically where our 55 exponential and our 21 exponential, give it another day or two, likely we're going to come down here. This is where I'm going to be interested in buying. I'm going to be interested in buying right here. And I'm going to go ahead and keep my stop loss right on the other side of this 887. Honestly, it probably would be better for me to put my stop loss, I would say, in this range right around here, which is going to be right there at about $44. So putting a stop loss of $44 when you're planning on buying here at about 46.50, you're only giving yourself, a little bit of drawdown. Now, again, the price is so cheap on Litecoin, that's still a 10% drawdown, but the potential for moving higher is much greater. Even if you only take this to the 200 daily, you're still looking at about 42% increase. So 42% increase from here at $46 up here to the top at $66. That's a pretty good rate of return there. But really, what I'm looking at is potential that we are. Let's see here. Yes, we can show that. Of course, the potential here, we just created a 1-2, right? And we are looking to put in a larger third, right? And that third would take us higher than 146.02. So the question from Via Barari on the chat is, do we think Litecoin's going to go back to $300 in the next 12 months? No, not in the next 12 months. not in the next 12 months. So for us to get up here into this range, right? So again, we were looking at a 1, 2, or an AB. So a lot of this is going to have to deal with what happens, and you can see we've already kind of taken this out a little bit further. We're going to be basically looking for this to play itself out. So I don't think it's going to happen in the next year if it does happen at all. I'm not going to say that if Litecoin does happen to go below $40 that it's a low chance to ever see it again, because Litecoin was at $22 and it made its way all the way up to $145, right? So, Litecoin had a really good run in the first half of this year, and of course we have retraced 88.7% of that move. But that's not to say that this thing can't rip to the upside. What we have to do first, we have to take out, and again, I talked about this in my hedging video, taking this move from the bottom to the top. So that's going to be our measurement projected from the bottom pivot down here. I'm going to be looking for a move up to about $111, $112. And if we can overtake $112, which, by the way, if you were to buy at that level and you were to get out up here, that's 138%, right? I want to see what happens up here. I want to see what happens at $110. Now, a couple things need to happen. First off, Bitcoin needs to just kind of stay doing what it's doing. It shouldn't really move to the downside significantly. If we break like 7,500, then I think that this is probably going to be completely invalidated, which is why I'm interested in keeping my stop loss here at about $42. And then I'll kind of wait and see what happens. But right now, what I'm saying is if it does break below $36, chances are pretty good it's going to go much lower. That's not to say that it can never go back to $300 again. I'm just saying you shouldn't expect that to happen, because at this point, the market had a bubble pop, and now we are seeing a lot of people that have pretty heavy bags that are looking to get out as high as they possibly can. And when this thing went up 300-400%, they're looking to get out, right? So they got out at 150, basically. That's where they were targeting to get out. 150, they got out, a little bit below that, and the price has been kind of going down ever since then. But also Litecoin versus Bitcoin has also been going down pretty significantly as well. Nonetheless, again, I'm looking to put in some buys at about $46.50 and wait to see what happens. Wait to see what happens and see where we get our rejection from. Again, I do want to see us get all the way up here to this level, which is about 116, which is the 236 retrace. Again, we've already retraced, but getting up here to the 236 and then ultimately coming up here to this algo target, which is going to be at 175. If we get up to that 175 mark, that's going to be perfect for an ABC correction, which would take us almost to $200. It would take us pretty much right to about $190. I wouldn't hold it much longer than that. And just by the way, that's a 300% increase if we do happen to go up that high. So the risk to reward is pretty significant here. Again, there's a lot of resistance that we have to work our way through. We've got to get above this level here at $100. $100 is a pretty good psychological number that we need to get through. Back here in 2017 in September, we had resistance there at the $100 mark, and then we came down. And then where I bought my first Litecoin was at I think $56 back here in October. And this is where I accumulated Litecoin for the first time. And then, of course, it went up and I sold it. Of course, I didn't sell the top. I made decent profit. But nonetheless, I am looking to accumulate again down here in this range just to wait and see what happens. Yeah, if we get a double bottom here, chances are pretty good. If it gets back down here to $22, it's probably going to go a little bit lower, just to basically try and stop out the people that buy here at $22 that think that it might go back down closer to maybe $11. Because if you think about it, I moved from $22 to $11. That's a 50% drop in price. So it's pretty risky. So even every dollar down here in this range is pretty significant. Even up here, going from $47 down to $41, that's a 10% drawdown if you were to stop out on that. So it's higher risk from a stop loss perspective, but from a profit perspective, you've got large reward potential here if this does happen to move higher to the upside. Bitcoin breaking up would probably assist this a little bit more, but I am interested in Litecoin. Litecoin versus Bitcoin. Let's just take a look at that for a moment here. I'm interested in getting Litecoin versus Bitcoin at about 0.006. So let me just go ahead and pull this out here. I'm interested in buying Litecoin in this range right here at 0.006. This is where I'm interested in buying, and I'll be kind of waiting to see what happens here. But likely this is probably going to move to the upside once it does bottom that. If it breaks out of 0.006, it's probably just going to go to 0.0059. And again, I'm on the hourly, so the 200 on the hourly is sitting down here. Right now, Litecoin versus Bitcoin is being held up by the 100 exponential on the hourly, as we can see on the chart, after it failed the 55 exponential. And of course, now it's trading below the 22 exponential. So I do believe that it probably will expand to the downside just a little bit. And I'll wait to see what the reaction looks like down here. But I am expecting to see a little bit of absorption here. So basically what you're looking for are these long wicks down at the bottom of the candle to show that the price is being absorbed on distribution, and we are likely going to be accumulating instead of distributing. So there was distribution up here. Now we look like we're doing a little bit of reaccumulation down here, and that's based on the absorption on these candles that we're seeing here. So watch to see what happens. Again, I'm interested in 0.006 to accumulate Litecoin, which should equate to that price that we were just looking at here at about $46.50. It may not go quite that low, maybe only $47, but nonetheless, on a daily time frame, I am going to be a little bullish on Litecoin. I do think that it does have potential to move to the upside. Maybe you're not going to get the 300%, 400%, but nonetheless, if you can pull 70, 80%, I think that'd be a good risk to reward. You're risking about 10% of your capital, whatever you're willing to risk on this trade, risking 10% for a pretty significant upside potential. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Litecoin. But if this video helped you in any way, shape, or form, please feel free to like, subscribe, share. Thanks for watching. I do appreciate the comments. And wherever you are in the world, hopefully you're having a good day, and a good night, and a good evening.